So, good morning to all of you. Today, in the previous lecture, we have completed the discussion regarding to these points. That is character, where to, and so all other points have been discussed in the previous lecture. So, where character, what are the primitives of character? What are the primitives of where to? So character will be pixel length size, and variable character will be so length of the user's data will be based on the length of user's data. So the remaining free space will be released and it can be used for some other purpose, something like that we have discussed. And we have given what is the size of integer, what is the size of the float as given. Today, I'd like to concentrate on, this is the first one today, and this is the second one today, and followed by some other topics. Already have given some topics to you people. Data types, leftover data types, followed by so data sublanguages of SQL, sublanguages of SQL, and so SQLPlus commands. I'd like to take the consideration of these also today. Okay, I'd like to discuss the consideration of these also today, and today we'll finish off all these issues within 40 minutes. Okay, so let's get started without any further delay. So look at this date. So it is one of the important data type in databases. You could not see the date data type in our previous languages such as C, C++, and Java, something else. Of course, there is a possibility to get a system date from the system using all languages, but for that, you have to take huge pain to get the date of system by taking or by including or by importing some number of what you call external files. Then you have to perform some kind of operation. At least some 5 to 6 lines of code will be written for get the date in other languages. Whereas in SQL, otherwise databases, the date is pretty much important because always so the data type, sorry, the databases will be basically works on business enterprise editions. So therefore, in business, normally people are looking forward for only date. Because of that reason, date has been implemented in SQL. Date has been implemented directly in SQL. Just you have to use DATE as a data type so that it could be accepted. Normal definition for this particular thing is any attribute name or any column name followed by the date. Okay, date doesn't have any size. Date does not have any specific size here. Okay, so in characters, you have to specify some CHAR, so followed by some N will be given. So that N will be a number. Similarly, some varchar2. So here also you have given some number, varchar2 of some number has been given. Something like this, some size is not stipulated or not specified for the date data type. Why it is not specified? Let us see. And the date data type must be entered the data into the database, something like this. Within single quotes, it is a character kind of data type. Of course, it is not character actually. So it could be include or it could be so placed into your database, something like this. DD, so MON, followed by two letters of or two values of integer. Otherwise, so 4 values of this particular TF. Okay, so like this you can specify. How it could be specified here in the sense, today's date probably that could be, I have given a very long back date here. So 09 June 2020. 09 to JUN 2020. If you want to enter same kind of data for today, it is today it is 17th. So the month is May, MAY. So followed by 2021. In this way you can enter. Otherwise, if you want to enter some January, some 15th, so 15th January, first 3 characters will be taken into consideration. John, JAN followed by 2021. In this way, you can enter like this. Okay, this is the way to enter your date data type into your database. Okay. Then followed by, so what are the minimum and the maximum ranges of the date data type? Minimum range will be 1st January 4712, 1st January 4712 before Christ to, so 31st December 4449, okay, of the death of the Christ. Okay, so this is the minimum range, and this is the maximum range. So you can navigate this particular date data type up to, so 99,999, 9,999. Okay, up to that you can so process the database for business application. And how many bytes? Though we haven't specified the size of this particular date. How many bytes it is going to occupy? So look at this. So date will be always entered. Of course, you may be enter the date something like this only, something like this. So something like this only, but how many bytes it is going to be gets occupied? Let us have a look here. So first byte, second byte, and so on. Third byte, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and this space 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19 bytes. 19 bytes are going to be gets occupied here. So these 19 bytes are how this could be gets occupied here in the sense from here to here, probably from here to here, that is date, and this is the time. Without your specification of time, it is automatically recorded. So that is why it is called as a timestamp. So it is called as a timestamp. Timestamp in the sense, if you withdraw money from the ATM, obviously you could get one particular receipt after withdrawal. So thereby, in that particular receipt, you can see that the timestamp. So at what date and at what exact time with hours, minutes, and seconds. So where exactly in which ATM machine you have withdrawn the money, everything will be gets printed out there. So that is why date will be, the date data type will be so mentioned, stored, timestamp automatically without specifying the user. So timestamp is being automatically taken into consideration. Timestamp in the sense in your life for this particular date can never repeat it. So that is why it is called a timestamp. If you consider after taking the signature of a principal, there will be what you call put a facsimile. That is stamp will be put onto that particular paper. So you cannot erase that particular stamp. In the similar fashion here also, 9 June 2020 never get back in our whole life. So 9 June 2020 for 12, 18, 55 seconds cannot be comes into your life one more time at all. So that is why it is called as timestamp. Okay. So in this way, the date will be gets mentioned in our database. Then long. There are several restrictions to be used or to be imposed on long. Okay. However, a character maximum size of characters will be 999 bytes, whereas in varchar, so 10,000 bytes, approximately 10,000 bytes will be taken by varchar. If data which is taken or which is stored into that particular field more than 10,000 bytes, then you will go for long. Okay. So more than 10,000 bytes in the sense, approximately how many number of kilobytes it could be? So 1024, 100 kilobytes will be taken. More than 100 kilobytes, if any data is required to store in one particular column, then obviously there is no choice to you. You have to go for long data type. Long data type will be always the long data type will be always so store always while we are trying to insert any data into long data type, initially it will be open for 2 GB. So as long as varchar 2, it's also do the same. For example, let us consider this is 2 GB of data which is being open for you. so which is being opened for you, and user is interested to store or to write only some 1 MB of data. Out of this 2 GB, he wanted to store 1 MB of data, and remaining 1 MB in 2 GB, 1 MB will be left over here in the sense 1.99 MB has been, so 1.99 MB has been free. So while storing, remaining 1.99 MB will be so released, and this 1.99 MB will be released for further purpose, and 1 MB of data is being stored into long data type. As like as varchar 2, whatever the discussion we made in varchar 2, same kind of discussion here also. But in varchar 2, you have a facility to give your own size. That is varchar 2 of some n. That n must be greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 4 nines. So, but here in long data type, you never give any kind of size for this particular long. So, look at this. The basic syntax of long data type will be seen in such a way. So, you are not supposed to give any what do you call a size of this particular long. Default size will be 2 GB. Default size will be 2 GB here. So wanted to store only 1 MB before going to insert the data. For long, it could be open 2 GB for you. It could be open 2 GB for you. How much amount of data you are interested to store? That amount of data is being stored into that column, and remaining so amount of data will be what you call released, and it could not be used for. It could be used for further purpose. But in terms of long, while using in any database or in any database application, we have many restrictions. Look at this. Only one long column can be available within the table. Okay, if you consider one particular table, if you are trying to define a structure of a table, thereby so only one column does have long long data type. More than one column will be given. Obviously, any database application, not exactly Oracle, any database application could not accept you. It will be shown an error. Okay. Then, so in the future, we would like to learn something about constraints. So you are not supposed to enforce any kind of constraints on long columns. So we have 5 different types of constraints are there: primary key, unique, not null, something like that. 5 different types of so constraints are available. So those constraints must not be applied on long data type. Okay, this is one more restriction. So there is a DML command that is a selection. So that particular, while you are trying to select some data from a table, which does have the long data type, one of the columns must have long data type, then you never ever operate the group by clause and order by clause on that particular long column. If you operate something like that, obviously it could be gives you some error. It will be shows you some error. And in PL/SQL, we may be right. So some functions, we could create our own functions. You could create our own procedures. You could create our own packages. We could create our own triggers. Okay. If you want to create either of these 4 different types of objects, long column cannot be sent as a parameter. You are not supposed to send as a parameter here. And to access the data in a faster way, so you are also able to create some kind of indices or indexes. Okay, indexes is not correct word. Indices will be gets created for accessing the data in a faster way. So that particular index cannot be used to create by using long columns. So these are many restrictions which are being available with us. So therefore, because of these many restrictions, people are not interested to use this particular long column. Long column cannot be used by many database developers. Of course, in real time also long column cannot be used. Normally, it is not used. So for our purpose, it could be gets okay. So that is varchar 2 could be gets okay. Of course, the database has been given one opportunity or one provision to use this particular long. Of course, in any particular kind of enterprise organization, if you are really wants to use long, yes, you can use it. Otherwise, you can omit it. If you want to use, yes, you have to remember. So these are 5 restrictions. So these 5 restrictions must be in our mind while using long column. Okay. This is what about complete information regarding to long column. Then let me go ahead with how to download the Oracle into your system. Of course, the people whomever have laptops or desktops with you, how to download it and how the things are being happening into Oracle. Let me show you. So if you want to download, really, if you want to download Oracle, so you just go through, you just type one search option in Google, that is Oracle, so 12C download, Oracle database 12C download. Check this one. And so here in the first link, database software downloads Oracle India. Take this particular thing. Then here you can see Microsoft Windows 64-bit, so zip edition 2.9 GB. Okay, there is zip edition 2.9 GB. Before going to click on this one, you just view accounts, go for view accounts, and already I have signed in here. You can see my name here. Already I have signed in during this particular session. So otherwise, you have to get sign in here. Okay, you must get sign in here. Okay. Now, after getting sign in, so you have Oracle account with you. You must have Oracle account with you. After getting sign in, so then you will go ahead with this particular thing and click on this one. Obviously, so it could be receive license agreement and download this one here. You can click on this particular thing, then you maybe get download to your desktop or laptop of your system, respective system. In this way, you can download, and after downloading, so it is straightforward steps which we have to take into consideration. First step might be, so what are the components you require? So you have to select all components and then go ahead with a password. After that, next. Okay. The first step is select all components, then followed by the global password will be asked to you. So you have to enter your own password, and that password must be remembered by you and forever. So therefore, you could install. Okay, you could install the same into your laptop or desktop. In this way, you can so perform or you can download the Oracle 12C. Otherwise, I'll send you one link to you in your group so that you can access that particular link through Android phone also. I'll send you very soon. I'll send you probably after this particular class. I'll send you. Now, how many kinds of SQLs are available? SQLs are available in 3 types. Number 1, so pure SQL. Number 2, SQL loader. Number 3, so SQLPlus. Okay, SQLPlus. Let me open that SQLPlus for you. So let me open. So SQLPlus will be seen in such a way. You can find SQLPlus something like this, or somewhere else, Oracle database somewhere else, Microsoft tools, and, yeah, Oracle Vara DB 1 to home, something like this. It will be seen. Thereby, you can see where it is Oracle SQLPlus. You can open this particular executable file, so that it will open MS-DOS for you. MS-DOS for you. Then here you can type your yeah. So login username. Your username has been given, and the password cannot be seen by you. So password will be entered into specific thing. Then here you could see login is successful, and add so and so timestamp. In the login details will be so maintained as a timestamp here. Thursday, what is this? Thursday, April 22, 2021. Today it is April 22. No. So I don't know why this particular thing will be gets displayed here. And connected to which database? Oracle 12C Enterprise Edition of release 12.2.0.1.0 of 64-bit production. So this is 64-bit version. So the Oracle version size will be 12.2, and Oracle's version will be, volume will be, so 12C. So Oracle database 12, C in the sense cloud. C in the sense that is cloud here. So after this one, you can see a prompt SQL. You can see a prompt, something like this SQL here. Here, you can type your own comments so that that could be gets displayed here. Let me show you as far as so SQL Plus. We will concentrate on SQL Plus right now. We will not touch about this particular SQL loader because SQL loader is not there in your syllabus. So we will concentrate on SQL Plus. So we will take some 2 to 3 commands on SQL Plus. Then I'll move to pure SQL. Okay, let us take this one here. So to like as MS-DOS, here also some set of commands are there. So to clear this particular screen, so you will. I hope that could be visible to you in a proper way or not. I don't know. So otherwise, I'll increase the size. That's all. 28. Already it is in 28. Let me go ahead with 30. Let me go ahead with 30. Okay. So some size will be gets incremented. So however, bold font, yeah, bold fonts also be there here. Bold fonts also, yes, it is in bold. Then it could be able to visible or see by you in a proper way. So now wanted to clear the screen, then CL SCR, CL space SCR. Otherwise, you can write clear screen. Both will be same. You can write like this. Otherwise, so some. Okay. However, I'd like to make some nonsense on the SQL prompt. Now, if you want to clear this one, so CL space SCR. So in clear, CL is enough. SCR screen SCR is enough to clear up this one here. Look at this. So everything will be gets cleared, and SQL prompt will be placed in the top line of this particular SQL predicate. Okay, this is first one. And second one, so if you want to type any command, so let me say I'd like to type select everything from tab. One command could be taken by me, so it could be display something. It could be display something here. So if you execute the same command one more time, there is a small command that is slash. There is a small command that is slash. You can see, so forward slash will be divided by something like that. Forward slash will be gets operated. It will be execute the same command. It will be executed same command. Look at this. So first command is so as well as okay. Let me open one more application for you to type something here. Yeah. So SQL start PLUS commands. First one is so CLSCR used to clear screen. So this can be used to clear the screen. And the second one is so slash, which is used to executes most recent command. Normally, this most recent command will be stored in the SQL buffer. In SQL buffer, most recent command can be stored. Whatever the command which will be existed in SQL buffer, that could be executed. And one thing you must remember, so SQL plus commands cannot be stored in. So SQL star PLUS commands cannot be stored into the buffer. So if you want to execute, so SQL plus command, just before I have operated CLRS here, I wanted to execute one more time, slash is not supposed to be used. Let me show you how this could be. So before going to show that one, next command is EDIT. Okay, ED is enough, IT is not required here. If you want to type, yes, you can type. So this command can be used to open the SQL buffer. So it could be open in how it could be gets open here in the sense in Notepad. Notepad, it could be open. Using Notepad, using the assistance of Notepad, SQL buffer is going to open here. Let me show you whether it is working properly or not. Okay. Let me operate the CLRS here one more time. The most recent command is select star from tab. That is the most recent command. So look at this ed or edit. You can type edit or ed, whatever it may be. You can see here. So wrote file AFI dot the extension. You please look into extension that is BUF. That is why it is called as a buffer. You can also see the what do you call title. The title is .buf. So here most recent command is this one. Actually, after this particular command, I have operated CLSCR. CLSCR has been operated. That could not be stored into this particular buffer. Only so pure SQL commands are supposed to be stored. So if you want to execute this command, just close this one and type. So here you can type slash, then it will be executed one more time. One very important thing to be remembered, already we told that every command so of SQL must be enclosed with semicolon. Okay, that is the statement which you have given. That is the property or characteristic what we have discussed in the previous sessions. But here you need to understand that in buffer, it should not be given this semicolon. Semicolon is implicitly appended. Implicitly in the sense that the buffer itself appended. So that could not be given here. So without given, so you can make some kind of modifications by opening that particular buffer and you can execute one more time. In this way, you can execute it. Then there are several tables. Okay, let me operate one more command. Column name is TNAME. So let me say some 20, A20. Okay, let me execute one more time. So you can see the data will be in a proper way right now. The data will be in a proper way. So previously the same command can be gets operated here. You can see this table name will be displayed in separate row, and table type and the cluster ID will be displayed in separate row, and something like this. If you want to format your column name in a particular way, the column name in a particular way, then so you are supposed to take one more command. Next command is the column followed by whatever the column name you have to specify. Column name followed by which format you are required. So I'd like to give you formats by tomorrow. So of course you have some idea, but so not required at this moment. Format. So the format will be A. If it is characters, A followed by some particular number, N. N will be a number where N will be a number where N 1 less than or equal to N less than or equal to less than or equal to where it is N less than or equal to buffer size. So how can you specify the buffer size? Let me show you. Buffer size. Okay, in this way you can specify. So this is not AN. This is so A followed by some number. Okay, A followed by some number. Okay, so where N will be seen in such a way. Then how could you set the buffer? Here? Set the buffer in terms of, look at this. After setting column in a proper way, you can see. So this is first page where exactly the data will be displayed. This is the second page where exactly the data will be displayed. Third page, fourth page, and so on. Fourth page, and fifth page, and so on. Okay, like this it could be gets displayed. Now I wanted to so increase the page size of this SQL. How could you increase in the sense? Set so PAGESIZE page size to one particular value N. Page size must be where let me write here itself. So where 1 less than or equal to so N less than or equal to some particular value. That value might be So 256 where it is, yeah, 256. So per page you can able to show maximum number of lines will be so 256. Of course, people could not be taken this much, either 50 or 60 will be taken. And second one is for each line, how many number of characters will be taken. So set so line size, how many number of characters will be taken, m. So where m will be let me show you how this will be. M will be, let me take, yes, M will be, so 1000. So now buffer size will be 1000. Okay, where line size will be, how line size will be specified. This line size will be called as buffer size. This is the buffer size actually. Okay, so column also be taken less than or equal to buffer size in the sense how you can specify line size. That particular line size will be called as a buffer size so that you can specify. Let me execute these two. Okay, set so line, yes, ize is not required. Lines, so some 50. So set so pages or page size, yes is enough. Ize is not taken into consideration. Some 300 or 400 something like this. Now execute the same command one more time. Already I told you these two are SQLPlus commands. These two cannot be stored in. So edit, I mean buffer. So execute the same command. You can see in single page, everything has been displayed. You can identify. Previously, if you want to display the same content, so look at this, number of pages is required. Right now, this many number of pages are not required. Just a single page data will be gets displayed. Gets displayed here. Okay. 522. I don't know. I'd like to give some information to 522. Yeah. Already these 34 minutes she is trying to join right now before leaving the class. Okay. However, so this is the way you can display. And if I wanted to store, if you wanted to display the structure of the table, for example, so there is a table result. Wanted to display the structure of this particular result. So what kind of command you are supposed to use is so DESC. RIBE also required. Also, you can type, yes, if you are very much patient enough, you can type. So otherwise, describe table name, which is used to, what is the purpose of this command is used to display the structure of the table. Let us see how this could be worked out. DESC followed by table name is, I told you that result, RESULT. So the table will be available. Yes, this table could be register number of 5, and year of study. Metadata will be gets displayed here. All metadata will be gets displayed here. So this is the metadata of the result table. Okay. Therefore, it could be displayed in a proper way. So these are the commands, basic commands, not exactly complete number of commands, basic commands which are related to SQLPlus. So we'll go ahead with this SQLPlus in future. When progressively we are discussing the SQL, then SQLPlus commands also required as and when. So we will discuss all those things. Okay. Then this is what about the SQLPlus. Kind of things here. Then I'd like to go ahead with the next one, data definition language. We have several number of sub languages in our SQL. First one is data definition language DDL, data manipulation language DML, transaction control language TCL, and data control language TCL. So look at this. So data definition language in the sense, all these data definition languages are used to create or otherwise these are worked on structures. Okay. On structures. So you can create one particular structure. You can alter that particular existed structure. You can drop that particular structure. You can truncate that particular structure. 4 commands are available. And the DML is always works on data. So whatever the data you are supposed to enter into that particular table or any other object. So on that particular data, the DML is working out. So here we have a selection, insertion, updation, and deletion. So out of all these commands, one command has been so colored with red. Why I have make it this particular red here in the sense throughout SQL, select command is very important. This command is very pretty much important. If you learn select command in a proper way, of course, 50% of SQL is learned by you. And then transaction control languages are always used to operated on transactions. I would like to transactions. Okay, these are commit, rollback, and save point. TCL is always trying to work out on what we call different users on users. So it is going to be worked out. We have four different types of comments are there here. So grant and revoke. So here totally four comments. Here it is totally four comments. Here it is totally three comments. Here it is totally two comments. Finally 8 plus 5, 13. Totally 13 comments are available in SQL. If you learn these 13 different kinds of commands, yes, you must be 75% master in SQL. All syntaxes and how to operate and how to do some kind of modifications on those structure. If you learn in a proper way, then you will be master in that SQL. So progressively, while you are discussing, then we'll go ahead and discuss about these tools. Already tab has been operated. I will discuss by tomorrow. Okay. This is what today's class, and I'd like to show you. Yeah, let me share screen one more time. I'd like to show you. So your seniors have been already taken this particular class. So what is the class here? Assignment. Look at this. So already class has been taken. 514. So already, so assignment this class has been given, and assignment also posed to them. You must also take it, and of course, okay. Let me take the attendance. The time is gets over right now.